Black voters turned out in record numbers during this month's gubernatorial election, rallying behind now Governor-elect Sherrill. And given the impact they had in her win, they're now looking for bold action and to see how Sherrill keeps the promises she made on the campaign trail. Today, leaders from the New Jersey statewide Black agenda held a press conference to lay out those issues. Here with us now to share what that outline looks like is Reverend Dr. Charles Boyer, pastor of the Greater Mount Zion AME Church and head of Salvation and Social Justice. Pastor, Reverend, great to have you with us. I just want to
thank you so much.
I want to ask you, obviously the Black community is not a monolith, right? But what are some of the priorities? What are some of the concerns that you have that you want to see Governor-elect Sherrill tackle when she takes office?
Well, yeah, thank you again for having me. And there's certainly a multitude of issues. One is even before she takes office, even within the transition, it's important that Black folks are represented in the way that we represented during the vote and the way that we're represented in the state. Certainly in and amongst the appointments for cabinet positions and other positions throughout the administration, representation matters. And then from there, within the first 100 days, we're looking forward to them convening a biannual meeting with Black leadership, the governor, lieutenant governor, and the cabinet to talk about ways to move policy issues forward. We're looking for things like discussions in the state budget around restorative youth employment programs, housing for first-generation home buyers, deeper investments in freedom schools, looking towards building on the affordable housing movement, particularly working with the Black faith community and other faith communities to do that. Convening really targeted, action-oriented work groups to move on economic and community development in cities like Trenton and Newark. An introduction of Black maternal health legislation to address the Black maternal health crisis in the state. And finally, within the first 100 days, convening a task force to look at and deal with and take action on the racial wealth gap.
You outlined a whole lot there, and I want to break that down a bit and get into some of these topics. But let's start with the fact that right now, Lieutenant Governor-elect Dale Caldwell is leading her transition team. He said in the first meeting as Lieutenant Governor-elect that he would be looking to put people in positions that reflect the diversity of New Jersey. Do you have confidence with him at the helm that that will in fact happen?
I absolutely do. I have tremendous confidence in the lieutenant governor-elect. I mean, he's a man of deep integrity, and he has been extremely engaging. And I think it was a very strong sign that he was put the head of the transition. And I fully expect him to follow through with that.
One of the measures I know you want to see taken is rejecting some of the punitive youth waiver bills that are before the legislature. Can you just explain what that is and how you want to see that rolled back or addressed?
Yeah, there's several things in the lame duck that need to be addressed and put to bed finally, because this election was not only beneficial for the Sherrill Caldwell team, it was also beneficial for the Assembly Democrats who come in with a super majority. So these very punitive youth waiver bills, waiving young people to adult sentencing, that needs to be killed, as well as this attempt from the New Jersey State Police to come up from under the Attorney General's authority. Black folks overwhelmingly rejected a punitive policing, prison, and sentencing agenda from the right, and therefore we expect the Assembly and the Senate to hear that cry very loudly.
I have to ask you, Governor Murphy put stronger penalties in place for any youth involved in carjacking schemes. Do you include that? Do you want to see those measures rolled back by Governor-elect Sherrill?
We certainly would like to see that rolled back. I mean, listen, anything that's punitive that has gone on in our state has been a lean towards the right in response to the growing MAGA movement and frustration of mostly white voters who did not vote in majority for this current administration and legislature. So we ultimately would like to see all of that move back. We've seen crime decrease in this state when we have taken affirmative policies and restorative policies, and therefore folks come in with a mandate from black voters, and we expect them to respond that way.
Although I would say there has been push from the community as carjackings have increased to see punitive measures put in place. And I wouldn't say that that's entirely a MAGA issue. But I do want to get onto the home buyers, first-time home buyers, because I know this is an issue that's really important when we look at the broader wealth gap that exists between white communities and black communities. Mikey Sherrill has said that she will have affordable housing. She wants to increase affordable housing, and she wants to put in place first-time home buyer credits. Do you think that there should be additional credits for first-time black home buyers?
Well, I think we have to do things in a way that's constitutional and targeted, for sure, especially when we know that during the mortgage crisis, banks targeted with predatory lending black folks in particular. And that led to one of the largest divestment of black wealth in the state's history, right here in New Jersey. And so these types of investments need to be very targeted to get at the wealth gap, absolutely, for sure. But it has to be done in a constitutionally smart way to make sure that those investments get to where they actually are, but that they also lift up everybody at the same time.
Yeah, we know that redlining is not a thing of the 1950s, as some people might envision. It was happening even in the 2020s. When we look at black maternal health, that's clearly an issue that the Murphy administration took on. They put a lot of reforms in place, from additional Medicaid reimbursements for pre- and postpartum care to doulas in nursing homes and hospitals. What would you like to see done in that space to expand on that work, or perhaps to deviate from that work?
Well, certainly we appreciate what the Murphy administration did, bringing this issue to the top and really making major investments in it. What we want to see greater investment is making sure that those kind of resources actually get to the smaller grassroots black women-led initiatives that are all throughout the state. In addition to that, New Jersey has a midwifery a black midwifery lack, and so there are not enough black midwives in the pipeline, and so we need some serious investments in the black midwifery pipeline, particularly because we know that a lot of what is taking place in the black maternal health crisis has to do with embedded and subconscious racism in the hospital systems. So we need more black midwives, black nurses, black doulas, folks who actually understand the people that they're caring for and can deliver to them a culturally competent experience that doesn't marginalize them.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you a big question with only a little bit of time left, so I'm going to ask you to keep it short if you can. But do you believe that Governor-elect Sherrill has a plan to help desegregate New Jersey schools? It's something we heard a lot of on the campaign trail.
She absolutely does. She talked about county-based schools. She talked about deeper investments in these schools as they are already. And so she's laid out multiple things, magnet schools. So I feel very confident that they're serious about desegregating the schools in a way that that embraces the schools, the children, and the teachers that are currently there.
All right, Reverend Dr. Charles Boyer, we will follow up with you, as we know you're going to keep communicating with this administration. We want to hear how it's going. Thanks so much for being with us.
All right. Thank you.